Hello, and welcome to episode 266 of Prog Review. And if you can't read the title or description, or you've suffered some other ailment that stops your brain from working properly, then I'm talking about Steve Hackett and his Genesis Revisited. I think it was originally titled Watcher of the Skies, Genesis Revisited. I think that was his original subtitle. This is a new edition. It's been new released. Should we have a look at it? This album, originally, when it was originally released, I mean, I sold my copy of this years ago, but when I saw this coming out on vinyl, I thought, it'd be nice to get it again. Limited edition green vinyl. It'll go well with the Genesis Revisited 2 album. I know. I wasn't a big fan of that. I wasn't a big fan of this initially. But it's funny how time goes. And you've got to remember, context. It's all about context. There's a time and a place. And this is very much a product of a time and a place. This was released in 1996 originally. And at that point, there was no prog scene per se. You didn't get Prog magazine and Prog awards and people having progressive rock radio shows. The internet was still, in its infancy, not in its infancy, but it hadn't reached maximum saturation. MP3s were just around the corner. The iPod hadn't been invented. There was no iPhone. People were still buying CDs. That's the context of it. And to get an album that was a complete retread. I was going to say rehash. Retread. Choose your words well, Darren. Of old Genesis songs from Steve Hackett. I hadn't had a proper solo album out in a while. I think his last album was Guitar Noir in 1993. So, this was kind of an unusual blip. I remember being quite excited by it at the time and listening to it. Again, it had John Wetton on there, Bill Bruford, Tony Levin, Julian Colbeck, Roger King, who's his main partner now, working with Chester Thompson, Nick Magnus, Paul Carrack, Pino Palladino. I mean, Colin Blunston. There's the list goes on. There's a big roster of artists involved in it. The first thing you do notice about it is the production is very, very different to what he did with Genesis Revisited 2. If you come to it backwards, you're going to be quite shocked, because this has got a bigger sounding production. There's more reverb. And he doesn't do straight versions of it. Whereas Genesis Revisited 2, it was very much him doing his version of Genesis songs very much as they sounded. Whereas this, he actually interpreted them differently. So, there's a different feel to it. Watcher of the Skies has a different feel. John Wetton does the vocals. Dance on the Volcano has Steve Hackett doing the vocals through a vocoder. We get the excellent Valley of the Kings. That sounds great. And a song that Genesis didn't actually end up putting out. It's called Deja Vu, which Peter Gabriel wrote the vocals to, wrote the lyrics to. We hear that for the first time, so that's exciting. For Absence Friends is nice, Your Own Special Way. Again, it's a big showy production. Phantom Salmasis, Waiting Room. He gets to do his own take on that improvisation. I Know What I Like is the stinker for me, because he just I don't know, it just goes too far left field, and it ends with Los Endos, which again he gets to do his own thing. and it's very much 90s Hackett and lots of like Brazilian style drumming, and it's all rather exciting stuff. And again, as a record, yeah, it's not totally successful. I mean, because there are some bits, again, you know, why would you listen to this when there's the original? There's always that argument. But some of the interpretations are different enough and have such, like I say, luminaries as, you know, Wetton, Bruford and Levin that you know, can pique your interest and make you, you know, appreciate them. You know, I think it's more successful than its sequel, again, because the sequel was just, I just thought it was unnecessary because there was no interpretation. It was just, this is how it's going to sound live, but from a studio perspective. You know, whereas this, he was playing with the songs, you know, trying to put his own stamp on them. You know, so you know, that part of the experiment is a thumbs up because he succeeds. He does put his stamp on the songs. They are very much Hackett versions of Genesis songs, whereas the sequel is very much Hackett doing Genesis, sounding like Genesis. If you catch my drift. Lovely green vinyl. Sounds superb. It comes with the CD, which you've already seen that. So if you missed it the first time round, you know, it's well worth tracking a copy of this down. The green vinyl, I think there's only 100 of those made, but the rest of it's in black vinyl. So yeah, if you missed it the first time, well worth picking up. And I think you'll find it. If you didn't like the sequel, I didn't. You're probably going to enjoy this a little bit more. Though you might find the production is a little bit 90s, almost a little bit 80s, because there is a lot of reverb going on there. So yeah, I mean, 76 minutes 43, can't go wrong. It's a whopper. It's a double album, and like I said, there's a lot of people appearing on it. One from the archive. In terms of a rating, I'm going to give this 3 absent friends out of 5. That's 3 absent friends out of 5. It's not totally satisfying. Again, it's a curiosity. It's a bit of a curio, you know, curate's egg. It's something to pull out now and again. Though it, for me, works better than the sequel. The sequel is pointless, whereas the live version that he does, you know, that's worth listening to. Historical document. Remember how I argued it? But this is much more of a, you know, much more Hackett's thing. I think I've explained myself, but yeah, well worth it just to hear, you know, Valley of the Kings, and for, you know, studio version for the first time, and Deja Vu, worth it for that. So that's it. My name's been Darren Locke. I have been wobbling my chops to Steve Hackett's Genesis Revisited, the first one, Watcher of the Skies, Genesis Revisited. I think that's right. Which was originally released in '96, but we've got a 2014 reissue on vinyl. So grab it while you can. First time on vinyl. What more could you want, all you audiophiles? Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Remember to subscribe. Remember, there's Twitface if you want to follow me and have a chat or whatnot. And that's it. Only one more thing to say, and you know what that is, and it is Prog on.